The House will come to order. Today, the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Representative Espinoza.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Schiebel, please call the roll.
Representatives Armagost, Bacon, AML Bacon,
Excused.
Barone, Byrd, Representative Byrd,
Excused.
Basenecker, Bottoms, Bradfield, Bradley, Brooks, Brown, Caldwell, Camacho, Representative Camacho, Carter, Clifford, DeGraff, Duran, English, Representative English, English is excused. Espinoza, Foray, Froelich, Representative Froelich,
Excused.
Garcia, Garcia Sander, Gilchrist, Gonzalez, Hamrick, she's right there, Hartsook, Jackson, Johnson, Joseph, Kelty, Leader, Lindsay,
Here.
Linstead, Luck, Lukens, Mabry, Representative Mabry,
Excused.
Marshall, Rep. Marshall,
Excused.
Martinez, Morrow, McCormick, Pascal, Phillips, Puglisi, Richardson, Ricks, Representative Ricks,
Excused.
Rootnell, he's there, Ryden, Sirota, Smith, Soper, Representative Soper, Stewart K, Stewart R, Story, Sukla, Taggart, Titone, Valdez A, Velasco, Representative Velasco,
Excused.
Weinberg, Wilford is excused. Winter, Woodrow, Woog, Zokai, Representative Zokai,
Excused.
and Madam Speaker.
Here. With 58 present, 7 excused, we do have a quorum. Representative Espinoza.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Speaker. Good morning.
Good morning.
Today we're going to continue with our animal theme. You did not like thunder and the Arabian horses, but today is National Love Your Pet Day. Who in this chamber does not love their pet? I think everyone does, and I'm going to highlight today in my district again, Highlands Veterinary Clinic, because they also love your pet. They're located in the middle of HD4, and I think they're wonderful. If you love your pet, I am moving that the Journal of Wednesday, February 19th, 2025 be approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
Members,
Please vote aye.
Woo-woo! Members, you have heard the motion that the journal be approved as corrected by the chief clerk. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. All those opposed, no? The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Members, we are moving on to business today. We have second reading. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the following bills be made special orders on February 20th, 2025 at 9:11 a.m. House Bill 1162, House Bill 1007, House Bill 1040, Senate Bill 82, and House Bill 1110.
Seeing no objection, the bills listed by the Majority Leader will be made special orders today, February 20th at 9:11 a.m. Representative Woodrow. Members, you have heard the motion. Seeing no objection, Representative Woodrow will take the chair.
The committee will come to order. With your unanimous consent, the bills will be read by title unless there is a request for reading a bill at length. Committee reports are printed and in your bill folders. Members, it's a little loud. Please quiet down. Thank you. Floor amendments will be shown on the screen and on your iPads. Bills will be laid over upon the motion of the Majority Leader, and the coat rule is relaxed. Mr. Schiebel, please read the title of House Bill 25-1162.
House Bill 1162 by Representative Ferre concerning redetermination of eligibility for individuals enrolled in the State Medical Assistance Program.
Members, please quiet down. Representative Ferre.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1162 and the Health Committee report.
To the Health and Human Services Committee report.
Health and Human Service Committee report.
Representative Ferre.
Thank you. So we worked really hard in committee. We discussed this bill. It's around Medicaid redetermination. I know that we can't pay our providers what we should. This is an effort to reduce some of that administrative barriers and cut some of that red tape for our case managers who are taking care of our Medicaid members in the community. There are two things that we did in this amendment. It is cleaning up just a few words, and also HCPF had put it in the wrong statute, so it's just moving over the statute to the rightful place. Those are the two amendments.
Is there any further discussion on the Health and Human Services Committee report? Representative Bradley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As ranking member, I just wanted to come down and talk to my caucus because I think there's a lot of confusion about this bill. This bill is just providing an extension to people who are disabled, who have a stable income, which is SSI, and disability. These aren't people that are going to be fraudulent with the system. These are people who are getting denied treatment and then are becoming underinsured or not insured at all, which makes people like me have to treat for free. So Rep. Ferre is really trying to cut through some of that red tape. We're trying not to deny care. We're trying to make sure these people have an extension. She removed some really problematic parts of this bill with almost a strike below and turned it into a really good bill that allows for functional assessment for long-term services and supports and verifies. She worked really hard on this bill. I think that there are some real serious problems with the SSI and disability community having lack in coverage and lack in being able to recertify. We certainly don't want people that have dementia and people who are disabled sitting in county departments waiting to get re-verified, having to go through all this red tape when nothing has changed. They don't deserve that, and I am an aye vote on this bill.
Is there any further discussion on the Health and Human Services Committee report? Representative Taggart.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's an honor to serve with you.
It is an honor to serve with you.
I just want to make sure on this, and I hope everybody understands how conservative I'm trying to be on numbers right now, given our billion-dollar deficit. The fiscal note that I have, and I hope it's changed, indicates that there is a $667,000 of expenditure from HCFA. I think it's on software for this new form. So I just want to verify that that's no longer the case. Thank you.
Representative Ferre.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, that is correct. There is a zero fiscal note assigned to this. What I did was, when we talked with HCPF, they had put it in the wrong statute, which would have required a different fiscal note. We corrected that statute, and we extended that timeline to 3 years, so there is zero fiscal note tied to this. The intent of this bill is to allow for people that are stable income disabled, we're talking SSI, to extend their certification from 1 year to 3 years. In order to do that, I gave them a 3-year buffer to ask permission to approve this. Therefore, there is zero fiscal note tied to this at all. It is simplifying the process for people on stable income like SSI disability. I hope that clarifies your question.
Any further discussion on the committee report? Representative Sirota.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to clarify, are you saying that if you move the statute that no longer requires HCPF to do a certain thing, or is it that the $650,000 cost is pushed out 3 years?
Representative Ferre.
Thank you for the question. Because we are switching where the statute lives, it doesn't require a certain waiver, and therefore there is no cost associated with it.
Any further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, members, the question before us is the adoption of the Health and Human Services Committee report. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee report is passed.
Thank you.
Representative Ferre to the bill.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Mr. Chair, I got really excited. I didn't hear a no, so I wanted to leave. All right.
To the bill.
Thank you, sorry. So this bill is meant to help our case managers. I was a case manager when I left the military.
1 second, Representative Ferre. Members, I know that we have guests with us today, and it's super exciting, but I'm having trouble hearing Representative Ferre talk to her bill. So, please, Representative Ferre.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This bill I have been working on for a decade. As a case manager, we don't have voices at the Capitol. I'm here to help them in any way that I can with no fiscal note. This is cutting red tape for them. We are simplifying the medical information page. It is very long and a lot of unnecessary questions. This bill will simplify those questions and allow for other providers that are licensed and working with a client to sign that form. That helps doctors out a ton. Additionally, it allows for HCPF to get permission from the federal government to extend the financial eligibility certification timeline from 1 year to 3 years, only for people that are stable income like SSI and disability. Those are the two main things that we're changing. It might seem like a little change, but it means so much to the case managers working with these members. I ask for your support in this bill, and thank you for helping.
Any further discussion on House Bill 1162? Seeing none, members, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1162. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The ayes clearly have it. 1162 is passed. Mr. Schiebel, please read the title of House Bill 1007.
House Bill 1007 by Representatives Froelich and Valdez, also Senators Winter and Simpson, concerning paratransit services.
Representative Froelich.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1007 and the Transportation, Housing, and Local Government Committee report.
To the committee report. Representative Froelich.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this bill came out of Transportation Legislative Review Committee, an interim committee this summer, from the disability community wanting us to standardize paratransit in Colorado. We went through many iterations. Most of them cost too much money. So this bill is extremely pared down and asks for communications between emergency preparedness and paratransit, gross data sharing to make for better preparations in the event of a disaster for paratransit users. And I ask for an aye vote on the committee report, which is now the bill.
Representative Bababui, Valdez.
Hey, now. Yeah, this is a great bill, and it really comes from the, in my perspective, what happened in Surprise, California some years ago, where there was a massive fire and many elderly and disabled folks were not evacuated. This is a great first step towards ensuring that Colorado doesn't fall into that, and we urge an aye vote.
Any further discussion on the committee report? Representative Woog. Seeing none, members, the question before us is the adoption of the Transportation, Housing, Local Government Committee report. All in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. THLG report is passed. To the bill. Representative Woog.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just had a quick question. I was the no vote in committee, and I just wanted one of you to address. My concern was just additional burdensome regulation on the private sector. That was just a concern of mine. So if you could just address that, I'd appreciate it.
Representative Froelich.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for the question from the representative from Frederick. Erie. Somewhere north. Anyway, you know, this does ask paratransit to communicate with emergency services. To the extent that that is classified as a burden on those paratransit agencies, I would make the case that it's beneficial and minimal. I ask for an aye vote on the bill.
Representative Woog.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will be changing my vote to yes vote, so thank you.
Representative Richardson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It is a good bill. The amendments were fairly significant, taking away cost, but also burden. It really focuses on an important issue and lets the local OEMs really tighten up their plans when it, as it pertains to folks that need assistance to move. Thanks.
Any further discussion on House Bill 1007? Seeing none, members, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1007. All in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. 1007 is passed. Mr. Schiebel, please read the title of House Bill 1040.
House Bill 1040 by Representatives Valdez and Winter, also Senators Roberts and Liston, concerning the inclusion of nuclear energy as a source of clean energy.
Representative Fafa Flohaive.
Hey, now. We have here before you House Bill 1040. There's been a lot of talk about this bill, but before we go too far, we'd like to move House Bill 1040 and the House Energy and Environment Committee report.
To the Energy and Environment Committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We do have an amendment that we'd like to run to the committee report.
Please move the amendment.
I move Amendment L012 to House Bill 1040 and ask that it be properly displayed.
Amendment L012 has been moved and displayed. To the amendment, Representative Valdez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This renumerates a section. It also, we accidentally struck some language in one of our previous amendments, and this removes Amendment 5, which was added in committee that was a study for the public utilities, and so it removes that completely, and I would ask for an aye vote.
Any further discussion on L012? Seeing none, members, the question before us is the adoption of Amendment L012. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. L012 is passed. Back to the committee report. Representative Valdez.
We ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, members, the question before us is the adoption of the Energy Environment Committee report as amended. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee report as amended is passed. To the bill, Representative Bababui.
Hey, now. 1040 is a great bill, folks. You've probably heard something about it in the lobby. It's worth having a conversation about, and it was a really good conversation that we had. But really what I want to talk about today is what this bill does. I want it to be clear, this does not bring nuclear energy to Colorado. That is already a possibility. It's not illegal, it's not banned. What this does is just redesignates it in its own section as clean energy. And why is that important? I think that's what we're trying to hammer home, is the fact that, you know, we are seeing electricity demand double by 2050. We have Colorado currently in the works on 2 gas plants. And what we really need to be asking ourselves is, are we committed to diverting the 19,666,200 pounds of carbon that those 2 plants will each emit? We all agree that we want clean air. We all agree that we want plentiful and affordable energy. And this is probably going to be our path to getting there, given this is what the investments from the federal government look like right now. There are currently 94 reactors in the United States, so that we have a safe program. There has not been one injury or death in the nuclear electricity program in the United States. There was an incident, and the safety systems worked, and nobody was injured or hurt. So, and the reason for that is because it's a very regulated industry. This is why they cost so much to build. They have so much government oversight, so much government study on how to build them. And really what this bill is about is attracting the next generation of technology, which is called Generation 3 and Generation 4 technology. And for those of you who don't know, this is your nuclear lesson for the day since everyone's paying attention. These are small reactors that have so little fuel in them that if they were to experience any kind of an emergency, they simply don't have the physical capacity of getting hot enough to melt down. They are also built within modular containment units, and they are built on a factory floor. So they are built to a very much higher standard than something built on the site. So this is what we're looking at. The reason that I like nuclear is because I had the opportunity to visit the world's largest nuclear fuel recycling facility where 96% of France's nuclear fuel is recycled. Now, our goal is 100% by 2050, okay? France hit that goal in 1985. 1985. It's time we get on track. This is a great way to do it. All this bill does is says we know that the energy is clean. We think it's great to attract federal investment to our state. We think it's great to provide plentiful energy abundance to Coloradans. And I, as a lifelong environmentalist, believe that it's a perfectly safe way to achieve our clean energy goals. So thank you.
Assistant Minority Leader Winter.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning, members. I'm excited to be on this bill with my great co-sponsor out of Denver. Like my co-sponsor said, every house needs a good foundation. I truly believe this language in this bill is...
1 second. Sorry, Rep. Winter. Members, it's been a very loud morning, and we need to pipe down just a little bit. So please, Representative Winter.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Every good house needs a good foundation, and every foundation has a good cornerstone, and I think this piece of legislation is the cornerstone of the discussion that we need to have here in Colorado. It's wildly important if we're going to meet these goals. I've said many times on the record that I'm an all-above energy Republican. I think there's a place for everything, and I think that there's a big place for this. That doesn't mean we're going to explore other options. It's just the conversation starter. One aspect, I'm all for clean air, but I want to talk about jobs. With House District 47, we've seen numerous jobs based on legislation out of the building. That's just a fact. That is an eye-poking. I talk about it at the well all the time. This is a way to replace good-paying, high-quality, blue-collar jobs back within my district. We have Comanche coming off a line in Pueblo, which isn't necessarily in my district, but I fight for the people of Pueblo no matter what. And then with the oil and gas slowdown in Los Animas and Huerfano counties, we've seen that as well. We need the severance tax that comes along with this as well. As we see those jobs leave, we lose the severance tax. And I have 3 of the poorest counties in the state of Colorado in my district. And we need a way to backfill those severance tax for roads, schools, hospitals. That's ultra important. And then as well, rural Colorado's done a great job of producing energy for the urban center, and we want to continue to do that. We're proud to take that on. We have 2 power lines being built back through southeastern Colorado. We have the Excel build back that's coming through the southeastern plains, and then we have 3 Corners Connector, which is coming out of the panhandle of Oklahoma into Pueblo, Colorado. We have the ability to transmit this energy. Like the rep said, it's safe, the technology is unbelievable, and we're excited to have this discussion in Colorado. We're not the only state looking at doing this. There's a lot of states doing this. Right now, they're building the Terra plant in Wyoming. North of us, they broke ground in December. And I think if Colorado wants to boost our economy and be viable, especially with the tech industries that are coming in this state, this is a serious discussion to have. Like I said before, I'm honored to run this bill with you, and I please urge a yes vote.
Representative DeGraff.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. All right, I am in favor of this bill. Not because I'm opposed to the natural gas, because those 2 plants would represent 50 millionths of 1 degree Celsius. And, but if we are going to achieve the electrification goals of Colorado, the only safe way to do that is via a nuclear program. The only other way to do, well, it's not safe to pave over the Colorado with about 2 million acres of solar panels, all of which are vulnerable to wind and weather and cyber hacking. So I'm in favor of this because this is the way we achieve our electrification, especially with our doubling needs in the next 20 years. And so I ask for an aye vote.
Representative Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I also come up here and speaking in favor of this bill. I understand this body has proposed very rigorous and ambitious climate goals for the 2050, meaning the net carbon emissions to 0, and I think this is the way we can do so. Currently, with what we have when it comes to wind and solar power, we just don't have enough to move towards electrification on those specific energy types alone. And so after hearing a lot of people in committees, because I sit on the Energy and Environment Committee, we had roughly about 100 people testify. Very good arguments on both sides. I know there's concerns about the waste and the radioactive consequences that it may have. But currently, right now in the United States, we have about 28 states that have nuclear plants, about over 90 total. And so there haven't been a lot of mishaps, at least that I know of currently, when it comes to accidents and cancer causes and the like. And I also want to constantly just remind people that under the Biden administration in the Inflation Reduction Act, they did classify nuclear energy as clean energy. So this is a way to make sure we meet our climate goals. I understand it's well-intentioned to make sure we have clean air, clean water, and clean environments. That's what we all want. And I'm not afraid to say I'm in all of the above strategy when it comes to energy. I just want to thank the sponsors for bringing this forward, because this is a conversation that I feel deserves to be had with this institution. And I hope it's able to pass the House, because this is important when it comes to energy. You know, energy is the foundation of our production, our manufacturing. It basically contributes to the prices of what we see here in our state and across the country. And I truly believe that Colorado can pave the way to be an example when it comes to safe nuclear practices and also good paying jobs. I've spoken to many of the engineers who are involved in this industry, in the profession, and they have methods and procedures in place to make sure that we don't have accidents or people exposing to dangerous environments and the like. I know we can point out to places like Chernobyl and other places that have had very disastrous consequences. And in those instances, it was horrible mismanagement, grossly incompetence, and that stuff should have never happened to begin with. And now the science has advanced in modern day. You know, you fast forward since that happened about 40 years, and our technologies are some more sophisticated, they're more advanced, and I ask for an aye vote. Thank you.
Representative Froelich. Representative Froelich.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It is an honor to serve with you.
It is an honor to serve with you.
Members, I'm so glad that we are in universal agreement that we want to meet our climate goals. It is wonderful to hear the long list of folks getting up to say that, and that is fantastic. Let me just say what this bill is not about. It is not about nuclear safety. It is not about statistics of whether there have been accidents or not in the last few years. It's not about whether other means of generating energy are clean or not. So it's not about whether solar or wind also have implications for the environment. It's not about whether or not you want to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to nuclear. You can hold a parade saying nuclear energy is amazing. You can fly a banner around the Capitol saying that. You can urge your local government to explore it. You currently in Colorado, we can proceed with exploring small-scale nuclear. It's not even about what mix of energy we want to meet our climate goals. And it's not even about jobs that might come from nuclear. This bill is about adding nuclear as a clean energy source. And that is downright Orwellian. To classify something as something that it's not is not the way to go. So I urge a no vote on this bill.
Representative Velasco.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. And I want to talk about environmental justice. And in my community in the Western Slope, we want to diversify our economy. We are moving away from oil and gas. And we know that we want to offer reliable and affordable energy for everyone in our communities. And we are expanding our grid. We're moving into the electrification of the state. And we have done so much to support our climate goals, like making regulations for geothermal, for hydrogen. And the nuclear conversation continues. We have passed bills around doing studies to find if these are feasible solutions for us. In my community, we have a super site in Rifle, Colorado, that took years to remediate, where they were looking at the groundwater contamination, looking at the remediation of the land. It took 30 to 40 feet of soil to cover uranium that was there. So we are also hearing these talks around waste disposal facilities being built in the Western Slope. And our communities have already been majorly impacted by industry, the oil and gas industry. So we are all for the jobs, all for all of the above energy, but this bill is not it. And it's not, we know that nuclear energy must not be classified as clean energy. So I urge a no vote.
Representative Froelich.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As my colleague from the Western Slope expressed, to classify nuclear as clean energy is to ignore the history of the waste, that 50% of nuclear waste is stored on tribal lands. How do we ignore the legacy of nuclear waste and classify nuclear energy because going forward, we feel like technology is going to get us to a clean space? It ignores the historical impact of nuclear waste, predominantly a huge amount of which is stored on tribal lands. And I urge a no vote.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, members, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1040. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. No. House Bill 1040 is passed. Mr. Schiebel, please read the title of Senate Bill 82.
Senate Bill 82 by Senators Gonzalez and Frizzell, also Representatives Joseph and Soper, concerning the enactment of the Colorado Revised Statutes 2024 as the positive and statutory law of the state of Colorado.
Representative Soper.
Merci, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Yeah. I am down here presenting Senate Bill 82. It's a bill that is an annual bill that comes out of the Committee on Legal Services. This bill incorporates the second regular session of the 74th General Assembly updates that we made, so the bills we passed, plus the second extraordinary session of the 74th, and then measures that were approved by the voters at the November 5th statewide election into the red books that we call the statute books. So this makes no substantive changes. It just puts what happened actually in the red books. If this didn't pass, what would happen is you'd have to use the session laws, which are the gray books, plus the red books that are the statute books to figure out what the law is.
Please move the bill.
Oh, you want to move?
Representative Joseph.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move Senate Bill 2582 and ask for a yes vote. This is a bipartisan legislation. You've heard what it does, and it has no fiscal note. Please vote yes.
There we go. Any further discussion, members, on Senate Bill 82? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of Senate Bill 82.
Oh, that's the revised
All in favor
bill.
say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it. 82 is passed. Mr. Schiebel, please read the title of House Bill 1110.
House Bill 1110 by Representatives Winter and Duran, also Senator Pelton B., concerning the allocation of costs to maintain railroad crossings in the state.
Majority Leader Duran.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1110 on second reading.
To the bill. Assistant Minority Leader Winter.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 1110 simply creates clarity for road authorities and railroad companies alike. If the road authority is not a local government, the maintenance costs for railroad crossings are shared equally between the railroad and the road authority. If the road authority is a local government, the railroad is responsible for maintaining the area between the railroad ties, while the local government maintains the area outside the ties. The key to this legislation is it provides clarity and consistency. It reduces disputes over cost sharing for crossing maintenance. And with that, I urge an aye vote.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, members, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1110. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. 1110 is passed. Majority Leader Duran.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
Seeing no objection, members, the committee will rise and report.
The House will come back to order. Mr. Schiebel, please read the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Madam Speaker, your Committee of the Whole begs leave to report as under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof and making the following recommendations thereon. House Bills 1007 as amended, 1040 as amended, 1110, and 1162 as amended, passed on second reading, ordered, engrossed, and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Senate Bill 82 passed on second reading, ordered, revised, and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage.
Representative Woodrow. Members, you have heard the motion. There are no amendments at the desk. The motion before us is the adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole. Mr. Schiebel, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representative Lindsay, how do you vote?
Yes.
Representative Lindsay votes yes. Representative Pascal, Clifford, Byrd. Members, let's remind them a $5 fine when next we see them. They are excused. Please close the machine. With 41 aye, 21 no, and 3 excused, the report of the Committee of the Whole is adopted. Madam Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move to lay over the balance of the calendar till Friday, February 21st, 2025.
Seeing no objection, the balance of the calendar will be laid over until tomorrow. Members, it is time for announcements and introductions. Representative Froelich.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm pinch hitting for the State Affairs Committee that will meet upon adjournment that's 10 minutes across the street, LSB A.
Thank you, Representative Froelich. I have 2 announcements. Representative Tatone will substitute for Representative Wilford on Energy and Environment for today only. And Representative Rutinel will substitute for Representative Wilford on State, Civic, Military, and Veteran Affairs for today only. Representative Lukens.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Education Committee will meet at 1:30 in room 107 to hear House Bill 1149 and House Bill 1158. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Ricks.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. House Business Affairs and Labor will meet in room 112. We're going to be hearing 3 bills today, HB 1166, 1004, and 1208. See you at 1:30.
Thank you. Representative Valdez.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members of House Energy and Environment Committee, we will meet today at 1:30 in the Old State Library to hear House Bill 1096. Please be prompt so we can get everybody in and out. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Representative McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to announce that the Agriculture, Water, and Natural Resources Committee will meet 10 minutes upon adjournment in room 107. We're going to hear first a presentation and discussion on the Colorado River, and then we will hear House Bill 1115 and 1113. Also, there was an invitation on your desk yesterday about a film screening called Looking at the Sun. It's being presented by the Palmer Land Conservancy. Senator Cleve Simpson and myself are the hosts, and so is Assistant Minority Leader Winter. And it's this coming Monday at History Colorado, which is a very short walk from here. At 5:30 at night, there's a reception and then a screening of this film, which is, I think, less than 45 minutes, this film. And it's really great about land practices and the future and what farmers are doing. So I really encourage all of you that can attend to please attend. We can all walk over there together.
Thank you. Representative Lindstedt.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. House Finance will meet on adjournment to hear House Bill 1103, Senate Bill 19, and Senate Bill 46. We will be hearing Senate Bill 46 first. So Senate Bill 46 will be first on the calendar. Thanks.
Thank you. Representative Story.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will all the gifted and talented students in the chamber stand up? I want to welcome all the gifted and talented students that are with us today to Shadow. There's numbers of them here, as you can see, that will be with us all day, so feel free to approach them, introduce yourselves. We welcome them being here and look forward to sharing our day with you all. Thank you. And also, just wanted, and once again, can we give them a round of applause? Thank you. And also, I wanted to announce that the Majority Leader has excused me from being out tomorrow.
So approved. Representatives Taggart and Soper.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We're down here reminding members that tonight is the Grand Junction Chamber of Commerce dinner at Maggiano's at 6 p.m.
Representative Taggart.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's an honor to serve with you.
It is an honor to serve with you.
I just want to remind all of our colleagues, it's 4 hours from Grand Junction here to the Capitol. And believe it or not, it's 4 hours from the Capitol to Grand Junction. Some of you think it's more like 8 hours. So we welcome you to this wonderful western city.
Thank you.
Woo-hoo. Representative Gilchrist.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just wanted to announce that tomorrow, the Colorado Association for Family and Children's Agencies, CAFCA, and Raise the Future will be in the building. And so just hope that you all take a moment to meet with them. CAFCA is an alliance of agencies committed to providing quality care, leadership, and accountability in services to children, youth, and families in Colorado. And Raise the Future designs and implements evidence-based wraparound services that reduce the amount of time youth in foster care live without a permanent family. So really important organizations. They will be here tomorrow at the Capitol. Please take the time to hear from them and about the great work they do. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Clifford.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The State Civic, Military, and Veterans Affairs Committee will meet at 10:05 in LSBB. And we're going to hear one bill today, House Bill 25-1128. Thank you.
Representative Clifford, thank you for doing that. Rep. Froelich already kindly did that for you as well. We got a double dip on state affairs. Woo! Madam Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I do have one announcement, or two announcements actually. Tomorrow, February 21st, Chief Economist Grabe Sabetsky with the Legislative Council staff and Assistant Director and Team Leader Jason Gillander with the Office of Legislative Legal Services will be offering a training on Taxpayers' Bill of Rights, TABOR. All are welcome to join. The training is from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. in House Committee Room 112 or by Zoom. Please join this important training. And with that, Madam Speaker, I move the House stand in recess until later today.
The House will stand in recess until later today.